What is up, you guys? The Fallout Whatever here, and today I'm going to be doing, well, basically well, I gotta do the movie, basically the movie of it, or yeah, pretty much the movie of My Hero Academia. And I know the movie, it's just hard to remember all the people's names. Although I do know, how do I say this? Give me a second here. Alright, anyway. So, here's what has happened. Basically, a lot of things happened during the movie, so I'm going to make sure that I get enough in it. Now, one thing's for certain, if I said that All Might had One for All, One for All, basically, he doesn't have it anymore. Why do I say that? Well, because here's the thing. He basically, well, how do I say this? I really forgot what I was going to say, but I do know this. He doesn't have One for All anymore. Deku does. Deku does have One for All. Why? Well, because when All Might gave him the power, or basically gave him his the energy, he basically received it. So, I didn't want to give it to All Might, because I'm not going to give it to All Might, and if I did, then I take it back, because I'm going to give this to somebody who can technically help him out. And this could help me. Or this could help everybody in the long run. Let's see. How do I say this? Sheesh. Okay. He's going to give it to either Bakugo or Mina. And pretty much, I don't know who to give it to, so I'll put down a poll there. Who do you want Deku to give One for All? Who do you want Broly Deku to give One for All to? And yeah, pretty much that's it. So Deku goes ahead in the party, and pretty much he talks to or not talk, he doesn't. He basically flies over there, and Vegeta and Goku, basically they're there for a while, and they're meeting all the new people and stuff. And why do I say all Vegeta, Whis, and Goku? Well, because Beerus is just lying down. He's already experienced the world, and pretty much Deku just wants to show them more things. And pretty much, well, while they were there, they went to the machine thing, or whatever it was called. Pretty much, he just told everybody to, he told them, hey, why don't we just, play around with in this place? And this is when Goku says, this is a pretty cool place, to be honest. There's a lot of people. There's not that much grass. Wait a minute, there's hardly any grass at all. But Kakarot, just stay by me, alright? Oh man, I screwed up his voice, so it's kind of hard right now. But, he just says, Kakarot, just stay with me. Do not try to go anywhere else. Knowing you'll try to fight some strong person. And pretty much Goku was like, oh, but that sucks. You can forget it. Anyway, I just want to see how these, well, humans, or mortals, pretty much just see how these weaklings do these days. And this is when Deku just says, well, Vegeta, it's pretty much okay here nowadays. It's peaceful. I pretty much beat it up. I already beat up the big guy. And this is when Vegeta says, so, how was that transformation that you just did? The Super Saiyan 4. And pretty much Deku said, yeah, I have a lot more transformations that could be done. Although I know it's not going to be finished in my lifetime. And he says, wait, what? There's more transformations than the Super Saiyan 4? And Deku just says, yeah, it's pretty weird, but, could be fun exploring it. I might get past a couple more, and I could probably fuse the God Key if I do, reach that kind of level one day. Fuse it with the Kaioken. Not only that, if I also combine that with Super Saiyan 4, since it's already a natural state, I could possess a new version of SSJ4 God, and times that with Kaioken, I could do it. I just need to be trained much more. And this is when Deku just turns into Super Saiyan 4, and pretty much everybody sees this and they're like, "Whoa, hold on here, what the heck has happened? This kid just got buff." And when I meant buff, I meant buff. And this is when Deku's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. It's kind of weird for me. It doesn't matter. I could help them out, but knowing them, pretty much they're just going to tell me something. And let's see, could I turn into that? Nah, I'll just wait for that later." And this is when Vegeta says, "Wait a minute, what did you mean later?" And Goku's like, "Yeah. Did you have a new transformation?" And this is when Deku says, No. It's just, maybe if I can combine Kaioken with Super Saiyan, probably I can use that. And this is when Goku said, "Oh, yeah, but I've used that before. It's not really helpful." And this is when Broly says, or Deku just says, "I think you can use it with Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, but you have to be so used to being in 1 and 2 that basic 1, 2, and 3 that basically this could exponentially just make you so strong that you probably don't need God forms anymore." And this is when Vegeta's like, "Huh, that's something. But wait a minute. It could destroy you, though." And this is when Deku says, "Yeah, but this could help me a lot. Although it could hurt my body and probably destroy it. It's worth a shot." And this is when basically Deku just says, "Oh, look at that. We're here." And basically a lot of other people are there, and they're just talking to Vegeta and Whis and freaking Goku, saying, "Wait, who are these people? Are these heroes or something?" And this is when Whis says, No, we're just humble travelers. There's nothing to worry about, people." And this is when they're all like, "Is this a guy or a girl?" And this is when basically Whis says, "Oh, no. I pretty much come from the male species." And this is when they're all like, "Okay, I guess he's just a little more flambe-ish," or... Anyway, basically they get to the point where they meet Melissa's shield, and Melissa sees Deku, and Deku looks at Melissa and just says, "Hi." And pretty much she thinks, "Oh wow, you're probably All Might's successor, or you're training with All Might." And it's like, "Wait, what?" And this is when she says, "Yeah, look at you. You look so buff." And Deku's just like, "Oh, no, this is my natural look." Or, back then, it is my natural look. For some reason, my quirk advanced. And pretty much he says, "Advanced? You're strong enough to beat freaking, what's his face? All For One." And this is what Deku says, "Oh yeah, pretty much, you don't have to worry about that. Just know that he's pretty much gone. So, don't worry about me, alright?" And this is when she says, "I could help you out with upgrading your strength." And he says, "Really?" And this is when she searches up this kind of armor. And she says this. This is from, what do I say it? From a place called Capsule Corp. We found, we found this all this stuff. And they basically helped us found this facility. I forgot what the facility was called, or what the place was called at. But yeah, pretty much, let's just say it's Shield Corporation, or... Oh no, it's Island. Okay, so it's Island. Basically, Deku is just talking to Melissa, and saying, "Oh yeah, pretty much that's the armor that we had back then." And she says, "Did you say something?" And he says, "No, no, 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 no. I pretty much use that kind of armor." And she says, "Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty cool." And this is when she says, well, can I take your measurements?" And this is when Deku's like, "Oh, okay." And this is when he, just takes off his freaking... Well, basically takes off his freaking shirt. And this is when freaking Bakugo just says, "Oh, no, you don't. You're not going to take, Deku from us, you hussy." And this is when she says, "Wait, hussy? I'm not gonna do anything." And this is says, "Oh, yeah. That's what they all say. They fall in love with, basically, you're the kind of people who just takes measurements, in quotation marks. And basically, then you try to steal him from us." And this is when Deku says, "Look, no one's going to steal you from me. I love you both." And this is when Mina says, "What, you do?" And this is when Deku says, "Wait a minute. I thought you were over there eating food." "Well, it tasted so good, I wanted to bring you some." And this is when Deku's like, oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Mina." And basically, freaking Melissa says, "Wow, you have such good friends." And I guess, wait, you have 2 girlfriends? And this is when Deku's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I guess that's not common these days, but pretty much these are my girlfriends." And this is when Bakugo says, "My name is Katsuki Bakugo." And this is when Mina says, "I'm Mina, Ashiro." And this is when, Melissa says, "Hi, my name is Melissa Shield." "Yeah, we heard," Bakugo says. This is when Mina says, "Come on, be nice to her." And this is when, basically, how do I say this? Sheesh. I forgot, actually. But basically, Melissa's looking at him as a fascinating person. And she wants to know more about him. And this is when Deku just says, "Look, I'll catch up with you two later. I'm going to talk to her more, alright?" There is a contest to see who's going to get the number, how would I say this? The number 1 spot. Basically, you'll win some prize money or something like that. And this is when it's the testing facilities to hit the robots. And basically, Bakugo and Mina decide to join in. And he says, hold on. And Deku says, "Tell me, well, put my name on there too, so that way I can join." And basically, they do that. Deku talks to Melissa more. And they talk about the science of all the stuff that's happened. Basically, she tells him a lot of cool things. Not only that, she also tells him, tells Deku, about more about this Saiyan armor. And they're so fascinated about this. Deku tells her about some things that were produced to make this armor. Since he was the one who was always getting it, he studied it a little bit, and he also took some advice from Vegeta, so that way he can actually get the armor that he needs. And this is when Deku just says, "Look, I gotta pretty much go, but is there somewhere you need to be right now? I could probably drop you off." And this is when Deku just tells her this. Melissa tells her, "Oh, yeah, let's, I need to be over there." And she just says, she points down to the building where her father works at. And Deku just says, "Come here." And pretty much picks her up, and she's like, "Wait, what?" And Deku was like, "Alright, hold on tight." And he basically starts flying, and basically everybody could see a green aura. Basically Vegeta and Goku are like, "Wait a minute, what is that kid doing?" And this is when Vegeta says, or no, Goku says, "Well, it seems that he's carrying somebody." Huh. It's not the blonde, she's a blonde, but it's not the blonde that we know. Or it's not the pink one either. And this is when Vegeta's like, "He's doing what I told him to. Yes. He's starting to procreate with the rest. Kakarot, this can help us achieve a new goal for the Saiyans." And this is when basically Goku says, "I think he's just dropping her off." And he's all like, "Oh, whatever. Anyway, I think we should get back home." We are not allowed. We don't belong here all the time. And this is when Goku says, "Yeah, it was pretty fun back then. Remember?" And basically they remembered their first time fighting. Actually, pretty much they're how do I say it? They pretty much go to the spot where they fought before, and they said, and well, basically Goku said this: "Hey, do you want to go? Do you want to fight from back then?" And this is when Vegeta's like, "I thought you never to ask." So I screwed up his voice so much, and basically they use basically they use their fighting stances from back then, and they don't go Super Saiyan or they don't power up at all. Pretty much a normal Saiyan versus a normal Saiyan. Now, we get to the whole point of the story where he drops her off and meets David's shield. They talk for a little while, and Deku promises to go back. Melissa feels this little skip at her heart, thinking this was been how do I say it? It's been a long time since she's talked to anybody. Not only that, has actually talked about armor or such. And not only that, she basically got carried by Deku. So pretty much, he's pretty much a fascination to him. She doesn't know why or what makes him different. All she knows is that Deku just does, how do I say it? Pretty much, I actually forgot. But I do know that freaking, I really forgot what I was gonna say, but I do know that he goes to the freaking robot place, or the tournament, and pretty much, Bakugo goes, and she's actually doing much more better. Mina actually gets a little more higher than what she previously got. But Deku just shoots, basically 20 energy blasts, and destroyed all of them. Pretty much not under a second. Yeah, let's say under a second. Pretty much destroyed everything. And this is when, basically, she wants to go again. But this is when Bakugo thinks, yeah, I would go again, but at the same time, I pretty much got a decent score on mine. It's not that bad, but this is Deku we're talking about. So pretty much, Deku just says, well, let's just go to our room. And pretty much Deku and the others go to their rooms and all that stuff to get dressed. Deku doesn't get dressed with them. Ya perverts. Lasto. Anyway, we get to the whole point of the story where they're all dressed up. Now, Mina's a little more the same, but hers has a green flower on her hair. And Bakugo is the same way, but at the same time, hers is basically the same it's the same dress with the same colors and the same roses. Pretty much, and a green bracelet on hers. And this is when basically Deku just says, alright, pretty much I look very weird. And this is when Deku just thinks, why is this, man, I never got so used to suits at all. If I move around too much, I could tear this thing. Oh, jeez, it took me so long to finally get a suit, and this feels smaller. This is when he starts to just walk and walk and walk, meets all the other people, and give me a second here. Now, anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, okay. So, basically the whole dance happened, Deku was dancing with the three of them, although it kind of sucked at the fact that all of them were there, and they did not know how to freaking, basically, they knew how to dance, Deku did not know how to dance at all. He's pretty much trying to dance, but basically his feet were stepped on. Deku tried his best, but basically the three of them were having a good time. This is when Melissa was coming up, and let's say, I don't really remember the whole freaking movie, but basically, let's say that Deku danced with her because she didn't have a dance partner. So this is when Deku started dancing with her, and saying that, sorry about all this, Pretty much didn't know what to do. And yeah, Deku just did his own thing. And pretty much all the other ones just started dancing. And all was good and well. Until all of them, I forgot something happened. Give me a second here, people. I really don't know what happens. I try to look for the movie, but there's no movie at all that I could find. So, from memory, here's what's going to happen. Basically, the whole thing happens, All Might gets captured, Deku and the others have to go and find a way how to, well, basically have to find another way, because if he tries to, like, go inside, basically there will be a lot of dead bodies. So, they just have to be patient for a while. And Deku right now is mad at the fact that, basically, not only All Might, but a lot of heroes who are trapped are now at the mercy of, basically, the villains. And Deku has to just calm down, and pretty much that's it. So, what he does, and what the rest of the other people do, they basically go down their path. Now, they do encounter the thing, but instead of Bakugo with Ejiro, let's say that it's, let's see, let's just say Kaminari. No, not Kaminari. Sheesh. So let's say Sero. Alright? Let's just say Sero was the one who got, who came with him. And pretty much Deku saw the two going to fight with the two villains. Deku just automatically started to charge in and kicks one in the face while blasting another one on the other one. This is when the robots start to show up, or a lot of robots start showing up, and pretty much he doesn't know what to do, but besides just going and starting to defend everybody, pretty much starts just blasting and hammering away on all these robots. Pretty much Deku and, how would I say this? Deku and Melissa try to find other people who may need help, but this is when a guy, I think his name was Wolfram, or I forgot, the main boss of the main boss, or not the boss, the person who held somebody hostage, pretty much has to just wait, and Deku just knows that if he does try to move, there's probably other people who are going to now figure out something's bad's going to happen. So he pretty much can't do anything. He's pretty much all this power, but still can't do a thing. And this is when David's shield basically does the whole thing where he grabs the freaking head thingy and just goes back at it. And what does he use with that? Pretty much, Wolfram got the freaking that head thing where basically it boosts the quirk of somebody by a lot. And David was trying to do something, I forgot, there was some kind of espionage or something like that going on, and Deku heard what David's shield was trying to use what was he trying to use it for? Basically, he explains that he was just trying to use it to save All Might, and Deku knows that this guy is now genuine in heart. He now knows that this guy is doing it for a reason, for a cause, to try to help All Might. Give me a second here. Anyway, Deku just says, you have done nothing wrong. Sure, you probably got a lot of people to go hostage, and sure, you probably might get them killed accidentally, because these are actually mercenaries and all that stuff. And this is when David Shield's like, okay, I get it. I get it, I'm a bad guy. But you did it because you were trying to help somebody else. That's what counts a lot. Even though the crimes that you did also count. He's like, okay, I get it. You did it for a reason. For a good one as well. So, let's see. Well, we just gotta go get them now. This is when Deku just now has to find out what happens. And basically tends to his wounds by giving him a senzu bean, since he has some on hand. Pretty much Deku now has to go find where they're at. Oh, let's see. Okay, Deku just goes, and All Might is basically freed For some reason, I don't remember. I just know key parts to it. Deku just goes and sees where the person's going from. One person is falling down the helicopter, and Deku has to just go and run to him. Then after that, he starts flying and grabbing the guy, putting him down, and after that, flying back again. And trying to get the freaking guy. But this is when the freaking, whatever happens, the guy's quirk starts to react to the headband, or whatever that thing was on his head. And this is when he destroys a lot of this is when he starts to use his quirk. And all these freaking metal parts and all this concrete and all such basically is being destroyed, is destroying everything. And Deku has to charge in. Pretty much starts to tries to charge inside there, but he knows that he can't kill him. Give me a second here. That is some H2. And anyway, Deku just goes in and starts shooting everywhere, but not even that can destroy it. He's trying to use the eraser cannon, but there's more coming in. Now, this is when he starts to, let's see, give me a second here, people. Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Right there. Okay. Pretty much, he uses SSJ3. Now, this is when he just goes all the way and just starts shooting as much as he can. A lot of power into it. And pretty much the rest of the people have are on top of the building now. And Deku is scared for all of them. Pretty much knowing that one of them could get hurt. So he's now having to hold in. And this is when he transforms into an SSJ4. Now, Deku knows that he has much more power, but there's still not any left. Now, he knows what he has to do. He has to either sacrifice a lot of his power to shoot something and kill the guy, or he could basically upgrade himself and pretty much destroy him. He knows right now he can't go SSJ Blue because he doesn't know how to use the key. Even Kaioken is not worthy right now, or he's not good at Kaioken because he's not used to using this form. Not at all. Pretty much his 5th time using it. Still not used to it. Now, this is when he just thinks, I could use that. I could. That is very, very scary, though. That's not... I haven't used that only once, and even though then, I almost destroyed myself. And he's thinking he has to do it. Pretty much has to do it. Otherwise, the whole world is probably going to be doomed by this guy, and a lot of people might get killed if he doesn't stop him right here and there. So, he concentrates everything he has, and pretty much starts yelling, roaring as much as he can, because he's powering up. All of his emotions are being destroyed. His happiness, his sadness, his anger, his anguish, every negative and positive emotion that he could possess right now is being so high up until he starts feeling this energy around him fading and then regrowing, rebuilding as fast as it can, and starts distributing it to every part and every cell in his body right now. He feels tension. He feels a little more bigger. Feels a little more buffer. Has so much energy right now flowing through him. But nobody can see the dust. Nobody can see what he's turned into. But all you see is a freaking energy ball shot through the freaking cloud. And all you see... Give me a second here, people. Oh, and here's the thing. Shout out to Yeek Loy for doing this. Well, he didn't do this for me. He didn't do this for me. But I just I found a picture online and just decided to use it. So yeah, go shout him. Go watch or go see other things that he's made. But anyway, everybody sees what Deku's become, and basically he's somewhat infused SSJ5 energy. It's pretty much an SSJ5 Super Saiyan, a legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Pretty much, Deku has become ultimate right now. At this day and time, a legend has been made once more, breaking the limits of reality itself. All the people saw was Deku, but the moment that they've done that, he vanished. Pretty much, he has vanished to somewhere else, and all they see is multiple pictures of a man who's destroyed, basically, a group of people, the Z Fighters. And pretty much, there's also pictures of him wearing a different kind of suit. Basically, one where he had a necklace. One where his clothes were much more ancient looking. One where he was looking much more berserkerish. And in this one, they also saw one person, or Broly, with this kind of clothing on. And now they see Deku using it. Pretty much Deku is showing them how strong he was. And pretty much breaking the laws of gravity, or not the gravity, the laws of reality and dimensions. Pretty much, Deku just walks to the guy, and something was about to hit Melissa, and Deku just was there grabbing it with his fingers. And he threw it back so far and so hard that the block that he made, basically he has so many of them right now, and pretty much he's so strong right now that he can make so much, but Deku is right there. His equal is shown right there. And Deku just threw it so far and so hard to the freaking thing. It basically almost pierced everything. And it's right there. Almost going to be outside of the freaking, whatever kind of cube that was. Or what, if it was metal or not. And the guy was horrified. And Deku just grins. An evil grin. And pretty much just starts to, he starts to form this kind of energy into his hand. It's colorful. It looks like a rainbow. And it's so small and so compact. It looks like a little sphere. And pretty much, he just throws it at the freaking, or basically at the thing in front of him. That big, cube. Or basically asphalt cube, or whatever it's called. Basically, he throws it, and it shoots into the freaking ball, into the cube, and pretty much destroys it. Pretty much Deku just starts walking, and just saying the words, Ka, me, ha, me, ha, and basically shooting a Kamehameha wave, which with instead of blue energy, it's green energy this time. He throws a couple of freaking cubes, but it destroys that, and the guy has to throw one more cube, and then after that, the freaking Kamehameha wave is gone. But the funny thing is, Deku just used the regular Kamehameha wave with one hand. Pretty much, this is not even the power. His power gap in reality is so far beyond that even Goku and Vegeta are basically shivering because the power of this man is so much greater than they have thought. So, Deku just laughs and says, "Why don't you throw one at me?" And this is when the guy says, "Ha, gladly." Throwing it to the guy, or basically throwing it to Deku. Deku catching it with one hand. And this is when he just looks at him and says, "Is that it? I thought you were going to give me a much more give me a challenge." This is when the guy combines all the cubes together and leaves one sparingly, throwing it to Deku. And this is 15 cubes in total. Basically, he had that much power to summon this much. So this is when Deku was like, "All right." Pretty much the thing was going in so far that it almost looked like a meteorite was about to hit him. And Deku just catches it with 2 hands, saying, huh. At first I thought this was heavy. This is nothing more than just lightweight material. And pretty much throwing it up in the air. And this is when he starts to laugh and just say, this is my eraser cannon. Laughing while the whole blast is going on. Pretty much the eraser cannon is blue and green at the same time. And everybody just sees this and they're all scared. Pretty much Melissa, Bakugo, and freaking Mina and the others are looking at what he has done. And they're asking him, is he okay? Is he angry? Does he have to calm down? This is when Deku says, I'm very calm right now. I know my emotions are going through the roof, but trust me, I am calm. At this moment, I do not fear nothing. I am what you would call god-like powerful. Or my powers are like that of a god's. This is when Vegeta is like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to tell this kid anything until I reach Super Saiyan 4. Pretty much Deku is just saying, alright, it's obvious that he's not strong. Let's, you guys just go. I'll deal with him myself. And this is when the guy says, you cocky, arrogant fool! And throws the last one, pretty much shooting a whole freaking, it looks like a snake, full of metal and everything else, including a couple of more cubes, since his power has not been checked. And this is when Deku says, you don't learn, do you? You're not dealing with a mere human. You're dealing with Broly. And this is when he says, what's a Broly? And he says, I'll show you. And this is when he summons everything. Pretty much, he shoots a freaking power that he's shown before. But since you guys don't know what this move consists of, pretty much Deku's going to do it right now. He summons another one of those spheres. Basically, I forgot what that thing was called. Or Soul Punisher. Oh yeah, the Soul Punisher. And pretty much, it starts to glow bluer. And greener. And yellowish. Pretty much, he starts to do that. And the thing becomes bigger. And then, after that, he starts to use a kind of other technique. Big soul punishing. Big bang. Final Kamehame. Ah! And shoots it straight up into the air. The guy doesn't know what's going to hit him. He thinks that this is so small. But yet, it's so powerful that it's just going through everything. Even going and using all the cubes that he has left. This thing is not going anywhere besides through him. And Deku just says, I wish you weren't stupid. You could have at least dodged it and given up. But no, you're going to take this head on. I gotta say, you're very brave for what you're doing. But you're an idiot in the very end. And this is when the guy says, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you at all. And he's has the freaking attack or the finisher move basically gone through his body. And he says, ha, is that it? It kind of hurts, but it's and this is when he starts to gasp for air and think, okay, what's happening to me? What's going on here? And this is when Deku says, it's called the Soul Punisher. This move has been used before. And pretty much, it's been used on me. This move is so strong that it cannot handle anything in this world. But, in the very end, you were a fool for taking this head on. And this is when the guy starts yelling in pain. This is when Deku says, I'm sorry, but this had to end here. Then the guy disintegrates. Pretty much either disintegrates or is so far gone that he's pretty much gone. Deku reverts back from his Super Saiyan state, and he says, this is very painful. And pretty much his muscles start to ache, and he starts having cramps all over his body, and he passes out. Now, this is when Melissa and the others start to charge in and help Deku, and pretty much they're all crying because of the fact that this guy not only risked his whole life, but in the very end, still had to make the decision to either kill somebody, because in the very end, he was the only one to do it. And this is when they thought to themselves, what's a Broly? Give me a second here, people. Basically, Deku is passed out on the ground. Probably 5 days later, Deku is in the hospital still. And pretty much the senzu bean that he did take, he used, but in the very end, it still wasn't enough. Because this is a power much more sacred than even the gods could even muster. This is one of the powers that pretty much was banned and that got freaking Planet Vegeta destroyed. Or not Planet Vegeta. This is what happened with the other universe. What happens with the other universes when they used it. But Deku, since he's pretty much has leeway right now, he's this way. Everybody feared this. Everybody made fun of this kid in the past. Everybody made fun of him would make fun of him in the future. But this is the present, where Deku has shown everybody to fear him. Now, Deku somewhat got a little more evilish. He didn't get evil by nature, but at the same time, because he turned into this form, basically his old evil, his evilish side showed up. Pretty much, Deku doesn't know why he's like this. It could be that something happened, but pretty much this is, it's nothing actually. To be honest, this is, just showing the old side of, like, the old Broly, and then now showing the good part of Broly. Anyway, Melissa was right there, crying, and then she saw Deku awake. This is when Melissa gets on top of him, and just thanks Broly for everything he has done. And Deku just says, hi, Melissa, how are you doing? And this is when she says, I'm good, Izuku. Look, I know that pretty much, it's been 5 days and such, but I have some good news to tell you. And this is when he says, oh, really? I like good news. After what happened to me, it's pretty much a little, how would I say this? I think good news will cheer me up. And she says, good. And she proceeds to kiss him. And I don't mean just a peck on the lips. No, I mean full-on mustache to mustache. That kind of kissing. Pretty much Deku... Shut up. Anyway, Deku was like, Melissa, what are you doing? And this is when she says, and this is when Bakugo says, oi, you get your hands off of him. Just because we let you have him doesn't mean he's only yours. And this is when she says, sorry, Bakugo, but, you know, I just, you know, pretty much, how would I say this? Yeah. It's kind of hard to say. But look, they let me go out with you. Or, basically, I'm a part of your love thing. And this is when Deku was like, wait, what? And she says, we saw how you were looking at her. And I have to admit, she's quite pretty. She could even be probably prettier than me. But that doesn't mean you get to have Izuku. He's ours. And she says, well, he's technically all three of us. He's basically all three of ours now. And she's all like, ugh. I don't know why I'm doing this, but fine. Mina just pops in and says, aw, we forgot you didn't let us tell you the good news. And she says, sorry, but I just couldn't help myself. And this is when Bakugo says, yeah, come on now. Anyway, Izuku, are you okay? We should have helped you when we had the chance. And Deku said, yeah, but I know that if I let you guys help, you probably would have gotten hurt. Since this guy, he had so much more power. I didn't think that somebody like this was strong. Although it did take my Super Saiyan 5 technique to kick in. I didn't know I was ever going to use this. Not only that, to use the legendary power of it. It was so scary, but at the same time, I think it was worth it. And this is when Melissa says, wait a minute, SSJ 5? Or not SSJ 5, Super Saiyan? What do you mean Super Saiyan? Do you mean the armor that you were using or something? And Deku says, oh boy, I have a lot to explain. Basically, he explains everything to everybody now. Basically, the three of them now know that Deku is not human. I don't think I told them this, but pretty much he's not human. And Izuku is so powerful right now that they understand why. But he was born a human, but he somewhat got reincarnated when he was a Saiyan. So now he can now tell them everything. And he can tell them about the gods. He can tell them about every single thing that has happened. Deku was very scared, but he says, as scary as this is, I can tell you all everything. And he explains everything else. He can explain the gods. He can explain the powers of a Super Saiyan. He can explain everything that happened in the past. And how it led up to the future. He doesn't know how quirks happen. He doesn't know himself. But he knows that pretty much this world here is his world. So he has to protect it now. And pretty much as Goku said, he is the new guardian of Earth. The last soul survivor, the last mortal to be a Saiyan. A pure-blooded one. Why? Well, because his body somewhat mutated and changed and growed into the Saiyan that he was in the past. And this is when they are like, oh, so that's a lot to take in, but basically you're not human anymore, although you are technically human, but your power is far beyond that. And this is when Deku says, correct. I know this is going to take some time, but we can all do this together. And this is when Deku just says, come on. Oh, hold on. He says, come on. Let's go. Now, this is when basically let's see. This is when the whole movie ends. And pretty much I'm going to do season, or not the season. I know I will do the Broly, What If with the other season, the Rising Heroes. I will do that, but I need to remember, I didn't watch that one. I can say that I didn't watch the second one, but I did watch the first one. And now it's time for season 4. Basically, I got that all out of the way. Give me a second here, people. Anyway, so basically we get to the whole point of the story where basically Deku and the others are talking, and a new student has came in to the dorms. The dorm system, yeah. Basically, it is Melissa Shield. Why? Well, her father is serving time. Why is her father serving time, you may wonder? Well, because he still did a crime. And they're very lenient right now. He's basically he's basically in jail for a while, and his record, since All Might is vouching for him, it's so low that he's going to get out in probably a couple of months. Now, the whole thing with the whole freaking the reporter thing happens. Basically, Deku just says nothing at all, and pretty much Overhaul is doing this thing. Pretty much, he pays a visit to the League of Legends, the League of Villains, and Deku's trying to find a place to do his work study, but he's not finding luck just yet. Now, he does meet, freaking, what's his face? He does meet freaking, sheesh. I forgot what his name is. Midnight. No, Night Eye. Okay, Night Eye. He meets Night Eye and all that stuff, and basically, you know, does that thing still. Let's see. I do know that freaking, he is going to meet, Night Eye and all that stuff, since he technically is the successor for One for All. All for One? No, One for All. Basically, yeah. He talks a little bit, and meets him, and he basically tries to, he already takes, the freaking, I forgot, the stamp of approval and all that stuff. And yeah, he pretty much talks to him. He doesn't do the All Might expression. And let's see. Oh yes. Basically, he's how do I say it? Izuku just battles Sir Night Eye, so he can do his work study. His work study at Night Eye's agency. But Night Eye has someone else in mind to be All Might's successors, and pretty much Deku just tells him, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this and give it to somebody worthy, and somebody who can actually make a difference in this world, and pretty much not just push anyone down because they're quirkless. Now, after all that, they basically, Izuku and freaking, Mirio do their own training, and this is when Deku just, well, basically Izuku's mind is swirling with feelings from his work study. So he just goes and talks to All Might about and learns All Might, and goes to learn All Might's fate. While that's happening, All Might and him do talk, even though they're not 100% buddy. They do respect one another in their own ways. Pretty much, Izuku is being respected because of his strength and the fact of the matter that he's going to choose a worthy successor instead of somebody just out of spite. So, pretty much Izuku respects him because he tried his best, and even though he failed, he still gave enough of his energy. Even One for All, thinking that probably this couldn't work, but even though he didn't actually realize it was One for All. Yeah, so, that all happens, and then they get to meet Eri. And Deku does meet Eri, and knows that pretty much she's scared and afraid. Now, Mirio and Deku do meet up with Eri, and they see that she's so fragile and so small that basically a touch could probably destroy her. This is when Deku can't do anything besides talk to them. And how would I say this? Pretty much everything happens in canon, because Deku can't do a thing. Deku is so mad at himself. He feels like he might just destroy this guy, but he doesn't know what else he has in plan. He doesn't know what could happen. He can destroy him, but what if there's somebody who can do something worse? And what if there's hostages? What if there's what if he's stronger and he could do something to him? Even though he can destroy them, he knows that the hostages, and he knows that there's people around him right now. Doing something could exponentially hurt the people he's trying to protect. So he gives up, and he's so infuriated right now that all everybody can see is the ground kind of shaking just a little bit. they felt a little bit of an earthquake happen, and basically at UA work study, at the UA, the work study students, go out with their respective heroes and all that stuff, and become involved in some big fights, all that stuff, and pretty much, how'd I say this? Kirishima does his thing still, and other people do their thing, do their things, and basically, how would I say this? Let's see. Huh. Okay. So, well, basically, freaking, basically the rest of, like, Class 1A and some of the work study students basically attend the meeting of the heroes gathered by Night Eye and leave with the new resolve. And here's the thing, Melissa is there and helping out in any way she could. Pretty much giving her one for all. This is basically her suit, which is going to be much more applicable or something. I don't really know. Pretty much, she is given one for all, and basically with the suit, this could help her balance it out. And since her mind is so smart, she can basically concentrate and see how much she is using with ease. Basically, she is right now one of the strongest students at this moment. Well, besides Deku, then Melissa, then Bakugo, then Mina, then the other ones. And pretty much, he thought about giving it to Bakugo, but he knows that Bakugo wouldn't want this because this is not her. And Mina wouldn't want it because she wouldn't want such a heavy burden like this. This is a big responsibility. So when they start fighting, Deku fights the guy. How would I say this? He fights that Russian or that the guy with the mask and all that stuff that steals the how would I say this? I don't remember what her name is, to be honest. But I do know that freaking how would I say this? He talks about the taking from energy, and pretty much when Deku starts fighting them, or anybody to be honest, he's basically getting his life energy away, taken away from him, or his vitality. Oh, the vitality. He takes his vitality, and basically the moment that this happens, Deku feels very sleepy, but then starts charging up his Super Saiyan, his legendary Super Saiyan state, and just giving him so much vitality that he basically passes out due to it's its own way of saying vitality poisoning. Pretty much, that's not the correct thing I would say, but yeah, when you're giving so much of one thing, it could hurt you a lot. And Deku does talk to the other students. Okay. So, when he talks, how do I say it? When the whole thing and fighting with what's his name again? Oh yeah. When they were freaking fighting with Overhaul, basically the attack, the temp squad, basically were fighting and all that stuff. And how would I say this? Well, basically Mirio was helping fight with Overhaul and stuff, and he still lost his power, and Deku had to take care of a lot of bad guys, so he couldn't reach them in time. But pretty much Deku just started turning to Super Saiyan. Basically, he turned Super Saiyan 4, and then after like fighting around with All for One, or not All for One, basically, sheesh, what is his name again? Overhaul. Yeah, Overhaul. Sheesh. While fighting with Overhaul, he knows that he couldn't do a thing. Basically, with Eri there, and not only that, other heroes right there, and the students, he has to just go and use, like, basically his Super Saiyan 4 state, and starts destroying everything, reaching up to freaking not Shigaraki, Overhaul, and taking a lot of freaking villains with him. A lot of the villains and all that stuff. And some villains that weren't even there, it just basically he started absorbing them because he knew this guy. He knew what Deku was. And basically he knew that this was the guy who saved Island, who defeated All For One, who defeated the Nomu. He knows that this happened. So he fused himself with different people. By fusing with so many of them, that basically he's become much more godlike. And basically he's become a giant while using a lot of different quirks. So using fire, using ice, using thunder and all that stuff. Basically Deku knows that he can't do a thing. And he does get hit with a quirk that almost like paralyzes Deku. But knowing that Eri was there and she needed some hope, Deku cried out, telling Eri to help. How would I say this? Basically, telling Eri to just come here and to not be scared at all. To not be scared of what's going to happen. Pretty much, he knows that she's scared, and he's just running. Yeah. He's basically running to her, or flying to her, catches her, and basically Deku is using his Super Saiyan 4 state, and this is when he basically sets her down, her awakening her quirk, and basically Deku saying that she did it. She used her quirk. It's not that scary. And then he finds out what her quirk is. And Deku thinks, so this could help me out in the long run. Alright. Okay. I have a plan for us, Eri. I need your help for this. I'm going to use a power that you probably never seen. And it's alright. Just trust in me, alright? Basically, this is when Deku starts turning to Super Saiyan 5. And this is when he feels some kind of relief. And he now notices that his power is a little more easy. But he knows that this is going to take a little bit much more out of him. Since he needs to go even beyond that. And pretty much he's strong enough to beat him. But at the same time he knows that he can regenerate much more faster. And he's trying not to kill this one because this guy, well, he has heard of what he's done already, and Shigaraki said something along the lines of him destroying somebody, so he wants to turn him back into someone else. And this guy has absorbed people, so he could probably take people out of him. So, this is when Deku says, I'm not going to kill you because I know what you've done. You've said it before. And even though I can't prove that you did it, I'm going to avenge them all. And this is what Overhaul says, pretty cocky for a kid who's going to die. And this is when Deku says, Kaioken ×2! And starts going, is so fast that basically it felt like Ultra Instinct to him. Even though he doesn't, he can't use it, he says this, Kaioken ×100! And this is when all you see is basically Deku turned into an SSJ5 100 times, Kaioken ×100. And basically, he's amping up the power. Telling him 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. And then he basically is looking very red. His body is destroying itself, but at the same time, because of Eri, even Eri's quirk is so weak compared to this. But Deku knows that this power is going to be used. He can destroy everything right now But right now, all he has to aim for is all the parts that are not well, basically overhauls. And he crushes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So many punches in one go. And basically, this is an achieved version where Ultra Instinct, Mastered Ultra Instinct, could be on par with this. But this is when Deku says, I'm not giving up yet. And then just summons a Kamehameha wave and blasting a hole through Shigaraki's giant's freaking stomach. And this is when he's all like, maybe I can go even beyond this. And then he just says this. Big Bang Kamehame Ha! And just basically does a wide burst of an attack, basically strong enough to destroy half of the body. And he did. Basically almost destroying everything. This is when Overhaul still uses it. This is when Eri just says, we're not strong enough to do this, mister. And Deku says, you're right. I think someone can help us. And this is when he calls Melissa. And Melissa's actually a little stronger now. Just a tiny bit, since she can only use 2% of all for one. And this is when Deku says, Eri, get on Melissa's back. Tie this around you. Not only that, Melissa, the moment she gets on there and you feel a little bit of pain, go 100% go 100% all for one, or use 100% of this power, or even go 1,000,000%, so this could handle it. And she's all like, wait a minute, but this could kill me. And this is when Deku says, no, it can't. This power, this is all, I could use my power at a even higher form. So if I can do it and I could still live right now, basically you can live and technically destroy him with me. And this is when she says, but if you keep using that form, you're going to die. Maybe I can, maybe I won't. I pretty much know that I'm not used to this form at all. But thanks to Eri right here, maybe we can make a difference here. And basically she says, full cal 1,000,000%. And now these two are going at it. Basically, their powers are through the roof. And Melissa's eyes are basically all blue, while Deku's eyes are basically all green. And this is when two of them start destroying a lot of things right now. Basically, their powers are destroying so much of freaking Overhaul. He can't use his regenerative powers. And this is when basically he just gets out of there. And the whole thing starts to crumble. And he's like, where is he at? And he starts using another one. And after that, basically he's using a much more advanced one because it has technically a lot of like sharp objects around him. And this is when Deku's like, you think that's going to work on me? Grabbing the freaking sharp objects and starts destroying each of them. No matter what, Deku is not going to, get out, is not going to die anymore. Melissa's destroying every single thing, saying that this is super amazing. She can jump high, she can jump super fast, she can go super fast, she can punch, and nothing could happen. These two right now are the ultimate beings on this planet. Even Goku's all like, wow, I want to fight her too now. And this is when Vegeta's like, calm down, Kakarot. Calm down, Kakarot. She's not a Saiyan. Not only that, she's only using power. But I have to admit, she is pretty tough. And this is when Deku is thinking to himself, alright, it's now or never. And basically just does this. Super Dragon Fist Explosion! And this is when she says, basically, Melissa says, United States of Smash. And basically, both are destroy the whole thing so far and so strong, so powerfully, or uses so much force into it, that basically, they cannot use, everything's being blown away. So so basically, sheesh, what's his face? So basically, Overhaul can't do a thing. Deku just runs there and headbutts him so hard that basically he's basically having a concussion, or he's basically going to be in a little coma for a while. And not only that, Deku, how do I say this? Basically, not Wolfram. What's his face? Oh yeah, Eri sees this, and Deku is smiling at her, saying, "You see, Eri, with the power of not giving up, and a lot of transformations, we could do it." Ah, sheesh, my time limit's up. And just starts having red electricity sparking all throughout his body. And basically the cramps are so powerful and so tight around his muscles that he's basically bleeding from his eyes and from his mouth. Basically falling down. This is when Melissa holds him and says, "Don't worry, we got you. We got you. Oh dear, what do I do?" And this is when Deku just says, "Sensu Bean." This is what Sensu Bean. Wait a minute. When he took that thing. Okay. Where's it at? Got it. And this is when basically she reverts back to her normal form. And how do I say it? Pretty much Deku just eats the thing, or eats the freaking Sensu Bean, and it's like, oh man, that was painful. And he says, all right, it's good. At least you can get up." I can't get up. I'm pretty much to the point of weak where not even a Sensu Bean is not strong enough to heal me. And pretty much she's like, "So what do I do? I can't. Oh jeez. I'll take you to a hospital." This is when Eri says no. She says, "I'll do it for him. I'll make sure he's okay." And this is when Deku is like, "Eri? Wait a minute. What are you doing?" And this is when she hugs him, still using her quirk. And basically, Deku is just feeling much more better, to the point where he can get up. Even though he's out of power. Okay. Even though he's out of power, he says, "Eri, you saved me. Wow. I feel better. Even better than last time. I feel this energy around me. It feels good. What do you know?" And this is when she says, "It's alright. We got you, alright? Just go to sleep," or not go to sleep. Just, how would I say this? "You'll be alright, mister. Is he going to be alright?" And this is when Melissa says, "Well, you saved him, Eri. You're a hero." And this is when Eri starts crying, and starts crying on freaking Deku's chest, and saying, don't worry about that, little one. It's alright. I got you. Because I'm here for you." And this is when pretty much she does all that. And yeah. This is when we get to the whole point of the story where well, Deku is just, right there. And Deku just talks to Deku talks with the others, and pretty much Eri's with Deku. And they're like, "Wait, why is there a child right there?" And this is when Eri's like, because I don't want to leave without Papa. And this is when Deku's like, Papa? And this is when Bakugo is thinking, wait, Papa? Mina's thinking to herself, wait a minute, he's a daddy? And this is when she says, yes, he took care of me. Not only that, he saved me from that man. And this is when Bakugo's like, oh, thank God. Oh, for a second there, I almost thought that you were actually a Papa. And this is when Deku's like, yeah, me too. And this is when, basically, Eri says, wait a minute, does that make you my mama? I don't have a mother anymore, nor a father. So basically, he can be my Papa, and you can be my mama. And this is when Mina says, but wait a minute, I'm here too. And Melissa's all like, yeah, didn't me and you have a little bit of a bonding time? And this is when Deku's like, oh boy, what did I just get into? Pretty much, yeah, Deku is going to be living a pretty fruitful life. And Deku just starts, training in the next day and feels this over-satisfying glee within him. Pretty much near the with the girls and telling Eri that they're going to have snacks. After that, they're just all living with each other now. Pretty much in one room that's actually now been given for two. Well, basically it's two rooms now combined together since Deku did some remodeling. And yeah, now the three of them can all live together in peace. With Class 1A, of course, being there. But that's for a different story and a different timeline. Now, this is where I'm going to leave it off, people. That is the Season 4 of everything. I am going to try to find out how to do, basically the rest of, the Two Heroes saga and all that stuff. And, yeah, it'll be pretty fun. Anyway, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout with it here. Bye.